Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 27th of August 2020. Welcome to video number 244. Listen, lately I was watching a few videos about man, women, relationship and so on. And I was kind of again and again I get to the conclusion that we are making this whole thing so complicated that it looks like we are never going to be able to accomplish the simple thing of being happy with someone else. And it boggles me to I don't know what degree, because I'm looking at this and I'm saying, but that's so obvious. That's the solution. It's so easy to accomplish. And I thought to myself, wow, let me talk about it, because from my perspective, if your relationship is falling or failing, it means that you're lacking like the basic knowledge of life. And let me explain. Listen, if your relationship is falling, it means that you argue and the situation is dire enough that you getting to the point that you don't want to be in that relationship anymore, right? And many of you, probably most of you, if you're in this kind of situation right now, it means that you're in this situation and you are getting to the point that you're tired of all of this because you don't see how to fix it. Because if you would know how to fix it, then there would be no problem, because then it's your decision whether you want to fix it or you don't want to fix it. That's it. So if you're lacking knowledge how to fix the problem in your relationship, you don't know what's the reason for it, then you're lacking basic knowledge of life. Because that's exactly the problem. You don't know what's wrong. That's why when you argue, you don't know how to drag both of you to the solution that will help you fix the problem. And amazingly enough, when you start to argue, and it happens kind of much often than, let's say a month ago, it's so easy, and so many of you fall for this stupid mistake of allowing yourself to be dragged into emotional game. And that's completely wrong way, because how you getting angry or frustrated gonna help you find a solution? It just won't. The basic rule of life is that whenever negative emotions come into play, logical thinking flies out of the window. That's it. There's no logical discussion. There's no way of getting into the like reasonable solution to help to solve the problem if you're angry, because you just start arguing and attacking the other person. So first thing that you need to understand is stop falling for the emotional game and start saying, whoa, 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 whoa. What is the problem? What is really the problem? Because if you look at the point number 2, which I want to make, is that if you don't know what's the problem, it means that you don't really pay attention to your girl. And that's like, if you don't understand that, if you don't pay attention to your girl, your relationship's gonna fall apart, you're an idiot. Sorry for saying that, but it's obvious. Like, if you ever learned a language, like foreign language, and then you never use it for 5 years, how do you expect to be fluent in that if you never use it for 5 years? It's just not going to happen. That's why, how do you think, if you don't pay attention to your girl, for your relationship to last? It just won't. And the amazing thing is that if you really look at how the whole thing works, meaning relationship, arguments, and so on, it's like, it starts with a very simple, stupid thing, like, I don't know, the toilet seat was up again. And then for some apparent reason, you are able to make it such a huge problem out of it that you argue, and then you're not talking to each other for 2 days. Really? The toilet seat, that's the problem that kind of destroyed your harmony in your relationship for 2 days? And then if you look close enough, it just starts with the small thing. And then when the emotions are, when you explode, when everything's, off the brakes, you basically, you drag everything that you have, that you kind of accumulated for months, just to say that, because now for some apparent reason you have courage to say that something is wrong. But then if you're smart enough, because that's where all of this goes, if you take care of your girl, you start in a kind of allow yourself to dig a little bit, or even, I don't know, go to your to I don't know, your friends, your girl friends, and ask them what do they really want from a guy in a relationship, and they'll tell you like few simple things like listen to her. You don't even have to say anything. They don't. In most of the case, they don't need your advice. They just need you to be there. Sit down and listen. How tough is that? What kind of quantum physics kind of PhD level knowledge you have to sit down and just listen, bro? Second, they'll tell you that they want to feel loved. They want see that you're engaged, that you taking care of her, that you spend time with her. How tough is that? What knowledge and sophisticated experience you need to have to just spend time with your girl and want to spend time with your girl. But you see, the problem is that we allow ourselves to kind of treat her as our pal, because now we're in a relationship, we take everything for granted, and then you just stop caring. You don't even see that, but you stop caring for your girl. That's why you don't spend time. That's why listening to her, it drives you nuts, because it's boring. But look, you did all of this when you're engaged. You did all of this when you were in love. So what changed? You're not in love anymore. Well, that's a subject of its own. But it's all about just your attention. If you really love the girl and you want to be there, you're gonna be there. But you don't. That's why you don't know what's the problem, because you don't give her time to tell you what's wrong. And then everything comes down to point number one. You end up in a relationship, and then you argue. You don't even know why you argue, but then you fall for this emotional game, and then it's just complete mess. And then everything falls to the ground, smashes on the floor, and there's nothing you can do, and there's no way you'll be able to rebuild this. So then point number three, which is, again, one of the most simple, basic thing that you need to know about life, that everything works like a mirror. And if you use this kind of way of looking at life, everything becomes clear. Because I want you to ask yourself a question. What do you really want from your girl? How much stuff, how many sophisticated things you really require from her for you to be happy? What do you want? Just and be as precise as possible. What do you want? For her to like you? To love you? What do you want? When she comes back home from work or whatever, when she was shopping, you just want to feel that she comes home and she enjoys seeing you. What more do you want? Spend time with you, be intimate with you? Cool. But it's all comes down to one simple thing. You want her to love you. You want her to care. You want to see on her face that she basically likes you and she loves spending time with you. That's it. Rest is just details. It doesn't really matter. But the major thing is exactly that. So then, let's think about what is the thing that your girl may want from you. Give it the same thing, exactly the same thing that you want from her. Just put yourself in a position that you will want to spend time with her. When she comes back home, you're happy to see her. That you care about her and you do whatever she expects you to do just because you love her. That's going to be automatic. There will be no problem of buying her, a gift, remember about an anniversary, sending her text or some message on the communicator, whatever you use. Once a day, just, I'm thinking about you. I love you. I miss you. Is that so complicated? Obviously, it's so easy to get used to that. So, some of your girls, if they're immature enough, or maybe you're this side of the relationship, that you try to, you get to the point that you feel so comfortable that you take it for granted. And then you have to be smart and say, listen, let's not, cross the barriers, because if we're gonna get used to ourselves, we stop respecting each other, and then everything crumbles. That's where it all starts, and then where it all ends. But in general, the one thing that you need to know, the basic rule of life: do to others that you want to be done to you, or whatever was the saying. It's that simple. So listen, 3 things, again, just to summarize. First of all, if you don't know why you're arguing and why your relationship is falling, you've got to figure it out. That's that simple. Second, pay attention to your girl. If you don't know what's going on, ask her straight to her face, babe, what can I do? Just let's talk about it. Tell me what's wrong, and I'll do whatever, because I love you and I want this relationship to flourish. And 3, in simple terms, whatever you want for yourself, whatever you really feel that you want from this relationship to have, give it to her. And then you'll be surprised how it'll change your whole relationship. How you look at her, how she looks at you, and how you both are able to build something that makes sense and makes this whole thing kind of enjoyable thing. Because this is what I want you to take from this video. If we overcomplicate life, if we try to look for, I don't know, whatever, it's going to be complicated. Just because you want it to be complicated. But the life is so simple just because it works like a mirror. Whatever you want from life, give it to her. And then tell me that it's not going to change. How you behave and how you experience being together. So think about it and do something about it. Because life is simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Just take it at face value. And you will be happy. She will be as well. If you liked this video, like, share, comment. If you didn't, comment as well. Tell me what you think, what is your experience. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, give me a shout and I'll be glad to do it for you. That being said, see you tomorrow.